Okay.
Put that in.
Yeah. Hello and welcome to Thaiger Bites. This is where we get to address your comments and feedback from all of our shows on our website, as well as social media on Instagram, Facebook, and our YouTube videos. And welcome to the show is Tim Newton,
Hi.
as he plays with the table. Are we going to go with that intro?
Of course.
Okay.
It's brilliant. We're showing how sophisticated we are and the technology that resides here in the Thaiger.
We can move our tables up and down. Right, starting us off today, Tim, is Edward Garcia, who says, as many times as I've traveled to Thailand, sorry to say that many Thai businesses and the government themselves, in my opinion, are corrupt and will not refund money when it should be duly refunded. Thank you for the comment, Edward. That is his opinion. I will not comment on the government, although a lot of people share that opinion. However, I think many
It's not the government's problem, it's the hotels.
I think it is difficult in general, though, in Thailand to get a refund. Refunds are not really a thing here, are they?
Refunds are not perhaps as readily
Available.
offered. Perhaps not as easy to get. I'm not really sure why that is. And it's not really an honesty thing. It's just sort of it's a slight sort of business culture thing.
Yeah.
It's just once you've paid, you've paid.
Tim, in my opinion, forget about being offered a refund. I don't even think it's available. Most of the times when you purchase anything from a shop, a local shop, unless you're buying something from Central, like a proper branded department store, no one really even offers refunds. It's not available.
Yeah, I think anywhere you go where you can bargain, you're really not going to have a chance of getting a refund.
I think that's fair, though. I think that's fair.
Yeah. Look, I suppose I'd say check the fine print, but when you're going to be buying something from Chatterjack Market, there's not going to be any fine print. You might get a receipt.
What are you going to complain about? Like, I bought a copy Tommy Hilfiger shirt for 100 baht, and there were holes in it.
Yeah.
And I didn't check properly. I want a refund. She's not going to be there next week. Who knows?
And I bought 4XL and it doesn't fit. Look, I mean, you might find clothes, shoes, not so much shoes, but I find with clothes, I can be anywhere from like a 3XL down to a medium, depending on which brand I buy. So, just be careful with sizes. Yeah. But, with the hotels, it's not the government's problem. It's really between you and your hotel. I should say that I think the TAT are very keen for hotels to show good faith and refund the money. So don't get angry. Just keep your emails civil and just be persistent, and hopefully you can sort it out. And
that is probably the best way you might even be able to get a refund. Be polite. Try your best.
So I'm going random again.
Yeah.
I've just gone and turned my phone on to our YouTube channel, and these are just random comments about random videos, most of them, of course, posted recently. And the first one comes from Annie Pemmer, who says, "You're always great, Natty. When does Jet return from his retreat?" So two things. Natty, she on her behalf, says thank you. When does Jet return from his retreat? He has been off for... What, 3 months now?
No, he's been off for about 8 days.
Oh, okay. Seems like 3 months.
He's got 2 days left.
Okay.
Once he comes back from his meditation
He does this once
retreat.
a year.
Yes, he does.
He sort of goes all zen on us.
And he's actually delayed it. He normally goes in January, I believe. But he's delayed it quite a few months because he's a busy bee. Buzz.
So, now that Bitcoin's tanked, he's got nothing better to do.
Oh, no.
So
he's got to meditate to get over the crash of the Bitcoin.
So where did he go? Do we know?
I'm guessing some temple or retreat in Chiang Mai.
Last year he went to a place where they weren't allowed to talk for 10 days, which I thought was a particularly difficult thing for Jet.
That is, I believe he's gone to somewhere similar because he's not really answering his phone or messages as well. So it's a full cleanse.
Yeah. Bugger that. I couldn't keep quiet for 10 days.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Excuse me, could somebody come and make my bed? I couldn't be quiet.
Anyways, I believe we had a word that we got wrong last episode. So Brian Asok, maybe he lives in Asok, who knows? Brian Asok says, Jay,
Bit of a giveaway, really, isn't it?
SMH equals shaking my head.
Oh, we were saying it was shake my hooter or shake my what?
No, like, I don't know, Carmel told us.
What did we say? It was shake my something.
Well, I forgot. Chai, do you remember? Sorry?
Yeah, we said it
SMH.
was shake my something. But
Smack my head. It was
Smack my head.
but it's apparently
shake my head.
in like, can't believe it. Can't believe it.
SMH.
Yeah. It could be smack my head. It could be shake my head.
Where did we
Either
get
one
smack
applies.
from?
Carmel.
Oh, Carmel. She's always
She's old
wrong.
school.
Yeah. A lot of smacking going on there. This one's from Joe Smith. Best news about the Thailand pass. So this was from an episode this morning when we were talking about will the Thailand pass be dropped on June the 1st. Bit of a hot tip from the tourism minister, says he wants to propose it along with the health minister at a WCSA meeting in the next few weeks. If it's coming out of the mouths of these guys, it will be very hotly debated and discussed. And I suppose we also need to look at the fact that this so-called Songkran surge hasn't really happened yet. So I'm sort of got a pretty good feeling that we might get rid of the Thailand pass from June the 1st. Are you got something wrong with your eye?
Yeah, sorry, my eyes are twitching for some reason. I think.
Is it my shirt?
I don't know.
Is it my beauty? Is it my visage?
Could be the flickering lights. I can't take it anymore.
The reflecting from the head. Anyway, yeah, so thanks, Joe. Yeah, it is good news. Let's hope it comes to pass.
Yeah.
Right.
Good one. Anthony Sydney says, thought everyone went to Lumpini Park on arrival, as that is where the Thai boxing place is. First stop, Temple. Second stop, Lumpini Park.
Is there a boxing stadium near Lumpini Park? I've been to Lumpini Park, but I've never noticed that there's a boxing...
There is a very famous Lumpini boxing stadium. However, unfortunately, Anthony, they're two completely separate things. There's Lumpini Park, which is about 5 to 10 minutes away from here, and then there's Lumpini Boxing Stadium, which is actually in Ramintra, which is about 45 minutes away from here.
So it's nowhere near Lumpini Park.
Yeah.
Do you remember...
Imagine that. You could go to Lumpini Park. At one moment, you're just enjoying the beautiful weather, laying down on the grass, and somewhere... in the distance, someone is. What was that?
Well, that's sort of the noise that I don't know.
That was a monk in a temple. You're referring to the dance that the traditional dance that they do?
The instruments they play.
Oh, okay.
So it sounded like a bad
I
accordion.
didn't know what that was. Yeah,
Okay.
It did sound like a bad accordion.
So Lumpini Park, that was the Muay Thai stadium, was where they had that first big cluster of COVID in Thailand back in 2020.
The Lumpini Boxing Stadium, not the park.
The Lumpini Boxing Stadium.
Yeah.
Craig says, this is a bit of a long one, LOL PM asks for sympathy after demolishing the entire economy, installing military-enforced lockdown in Bangkok, and killing tourism. Sounds about right. The only thing preventing the guillotines was the fact that things were barely manageable. Will be interesting to see if this pushes things over the edge. Well, just sort of cutting through Craig's rhetoric. It's going to be interesting to see how the Thai people, when they come to voting for an election later this year or early next year, are going to keep in mind the pain they may have been through COVID. You know, their failed businesses. Are they going to blame the government, or are they going to say, you actually did a pretty good job and it could have been a lot worse? So I don't know, Craig. We're just going to have to see how the polls... If you do look at the polls now, the opposition parties appear to be doing much better, and they will run heavily on, the economy was mishandled and we could have done a whole lot better. But anyway, thank you for your rather over-the-top comment.
I've got a comment here from Hershinger who says, Hi Thaiger team, I booked my second trip to River Kwai a week or so ago without knowing of Anzac Day. Went there on Tuesday, the day after, and had a lovely day hiking the trail and listening to the audio commentary. Fantastic experience and tour to learn about the hardship that these POWs went through.
POWs.
POWs.
Prisoners of war.
Oh, I see. It's just POWs.
These POWs.
It just said POWS, I apologise.
Yes.
Thanks for the editorial.
Okay, well, we were very happy to present a little bit of the history of Hellfire Pass, and if you do go there, I'm sure you'll have a really good experience. Thai people don't say Kwai, bridge on the River Kwai. They say Quare. Is it Quare? The river.
It's actually pronounced Quare.
Quare.
Yes.
Yes. So, but of course, the movie sort of made that famous. The old 1957 movie. Have you seen it?
No.
It's a little bit over the top as well. Neil says, I voted Pattaya, but always stay in Jomtien where it's much more relaxed. You posted a survey in the week, and the question was?
What region is your favourite region in Thailand?
And you gave 5
options, which was Bangkok, Pattaya, Phuket, Chiang Mai, and Isan.
And obviously, Neil said he voted Pattaya. Yeah. I think Pattaya won the survey, didn't it?
Yes, Pattaya won the survey. But I think we agree, even when we made a recent trip to Pattaya, Jomtien was the most lively area. We only visited Pattaya Beach and then Jomtien Beach, and I personally like Jomtien Beach.
Well, at that time, I think Jomtien Beach seemed to have a bit more going for it.
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
They've also just recently spent a lot of money reclaiming the beaches there and adding sand and widening the beaches. So I think it's got a bit more of a progressive vibe, Jomtien Beach. For the tourists, I think for the people that want to partay around Pattaya Beach, I think are the more popular locations. Over to you.
I don't know why I found partay hilarious. Regarding travelling to Thailand, Darren Wesley says, only the sex-starved will go through all the red tape to get there. 555. And to that, Darren, I have to say, that is not right. That is not correct. It is not the sex-starved. It's also the alcoholics, so we can't forget them.
Yes.
No, all right.
You can get alcohol anywhere in the world.
Before everyone gets enraged.
Get enraged.
A lot of people share that opinion, Darren. So, and you're not wrong. There are people who do that. However, let's not forget, a lot of people are coming back home. A lot of people are retiring here. A lot of people are just coming to visit their family. And people with families want to get away from all the struggles that they've had to face for the last 2 years and come for a nice holiday to Thailand.
Yeah, and there are plenty of other places in Thailand, by the way, that you can visit besides Pattaya and the red light areas. People might want to come here and sit on the back of an elephant.
Yeah.
Not that we encourage that, but you may want to do that. You may want to see a guy, a perfectly reasonable adult, put his head inside a crocodile's mouth. Yes, you can do that in Thailand as well.
All right.
So Eric Chong, thank you, Eric. And he says, why, this is completely random, why Singapore and Malaysia take days to decide reopen country, but Thailand takes months? Okay, so I suppose he's referring to the fact that Thailand seems to be a little bit behind the curve. Last year when they introduced the sandbox on, July the 1st, Thailand was leading the way in pretty much Asia in finding a way, some paperwork that would allow people to come back to Thailand safely and also, go through a certain amount of red tape. That red tape has been reduced, but it seems that now a lot of the other Asian countries, including Southeast Asian countries, have sort of got the jump on Thailand and maybe even shamed the government and the CCSA into changing things as quickly as they have. I think the changes that they've made recently, the ones that are going to happen on May the 1st and perhaps on June the 1st, have really come from the speed that the countries around them have reopened their borders without restrictions.
All right.
Thank you, Eric.
I've got a request for you, Tim Newton. Paul Shackleton says, Tim Newton, could you please do a segment on what woke is? I've never understood the term.
Well, I tell you what, I'm going to go to my phone and I'm going to type in woke, meaning...
Did woke, the whole woke movement started in America?
I think it was just one of those words, but I think it may be that people on the right side of politics needed a new insult.
Oh.
So they found this word woke. It means, look, just straight from the dictionary, alert to injustice in society, especially racism. Well, that's the direct definition of the word woke. But because people have accused us, well, they've accused all of us of being woke and the Thaiger being woke. If we are alert to injustice in society, especially racism, then I'm very proud that we're woke.
So it's good to be woke?
according to the definition, but I think it is used as a derogatory term by some people who sort of, I think the right would use the word woke to describe people who are sort of liberal and lefties, communists.
Oh, okay.
So I think that usually it's used as a derogatory term, but the strict meaning of the word is alert to injustice in society, especially racism. So if that's the Thaiger, I'm proud of it. Over to you.
That was my question.
Oh, that was your question. Over to me. Juan Carlos. Oh my God, he's on this thing again. Still think it would be a good idea. What is his idea?
He always goes on about. He wants the intro music to be longer.
Right.
Juan Carlos. I've got a question. My next question is from Juan Carlos.
Well, there you go. Just completely random. Still think it would be a good idea to make the intro music longer. Not going to happen. Jay, what's up with them Peter Anthony sideburns?
That's my question.
Okay.
My next comment says Juan Carlos. Dang, Jay, what's up with them Peter Anthony sideburns? He comments
That's
that on
freaky.
every video we've done so far. All right, so Juan Carlos, I actually tried to do some research because I have no idea who or what Peter Anthony is.
Peter Anthony.
And I say who or what because my first search said Peter Anthony UK, which is an independent estate and letting agency. I don't think that company or agency would have sideburns. Then there's a Peter Anthony who's a Malaysian politician.
We've got a Peter Anthony comedian.
Oh, could check that one. I don't know. Peter Anthony, the Malaysian politician, doesn't really have any sideburns. It also gave me a search for Anthony from Bridgerton. He has some wild sideburns, but do I have sideburns? Do I have wild sideburns?
No,
They just
not
kind
wild.
of go into the...
No, this guy doesn't have sideburns, so it's not the comedian.
I
So
mean,
we're a bit...
I think a wild sideburn would be, something that goes all the way down to my chin.
Like with the big chops or something.
Yeah, without a beard.
Just typing in Peter Anthony and images and trying to find pictures of...
You got to help me out, Juan Carlos. I have no idea which Peter Anthony you're referring
Yeah,
to.
he's the Malaysian politician. He doesn't really look like he'd be able to grow sideburns. I can't see anything in the way of crazy sideburns. He looks like Jesus. He doesn't have sideburns. This guy... Oh, hang on.
Jesus, take the wheel.
No, we have no idea what you're talking about, Juan. Then again, generally, all the comments you make, we have no idea what you're talking about. So that was from Juan Carlos. Do I do another one?
Yes, please.
Okay, Sean Walsh is the next one. This is random, off my phone, from today. Digital TM6 in advance costing 300 baht would be illogical and efficient, but logic and Thailand don't often come together. It's the unvaccinated that are delaying the opening. Okay, bit to unpack there, Sean.
It was going well until he took a dig at the unvaccinated.
Yes, so the unvaccinated are able to come into Thailand without quarantine
Yeah.
after May the 1st, as long as you do a PCR test 72 hours before you get on the plane to come to Thailand.
Yeah.
And it's a negative test, of course. He's sort of on that, because we've been talking about the TM6 coming back after they get rid of the Thailand pass, that the blue and white form where you put all your sort of details and your passport and your arrival date, and us foreigners, we have to staple that receipt of TM6 into our passport, and woe betide if you lose that, you're in all sorts of trouble. So look, I really think that they've gone to all this trouble to develop a Thailand pass and get all the software done, and it may not have been perfect, but it's now a little bit more streamlined than it used to be. After all that work, wouldn't it be good if we had a sort of a digital TM6 and an app, so that as you're walking out of the plane or before you get in the plane, you can scan your passport and you can put in your flight details and you can go click, and then when you arrive at the immigration queue, they go, thank you very much, let's get your thumbprints, and off you go.
What if they updated that same software, the Thailand Pass software? They take out the Thailand Pass and you put all your credentials on there.
That's what I just said.
No, what I mean is like your visa, and it gives you a QR code. So you don't even have to meet anyone. That QR code is only given to people that is actually fully approved. You just make sure it's the same person. QR code, go through.
So we don't even have to see the immigration officers.
Exactly. They're irrelevant. What do they do?
Well, Jay, they sit in their office scrolling through their Facebook for 23
Yeah.
hours a day,
Yeah.
and for 1 hour a day they meet arriving tourists.
Yeah.
It's
I've
a very
always
important
had
job.
the worst experience in my life in immigration. Can I tell you my story?
Do I have a choice?
Yes.
Okay.
But I'm going to say it anyways.
Yeah.
Whenever I've traveled abroad, especially going before the Thaiger, traveling for work, I'd travel with most of my team members were Thai. But because I have a residence permit, they give you an extra white-colored book. So when you're leaving, you need to have the entry and re-entry stamp. And because they've discontinued the residence permit for such a long time that most of the staff at the airport, because they have a really high turnover for immigration officers.
Hardly surprised.
Yeah. So when you actually get in line, if you see anyone under the age of 50, they're not going to know what the book is about, and they're not
Right.
going to know how to do the right process. So every time I try to find an older, more mature person. If I can't, I stand there. Everyone else goes through because they've got the Thai passport. Oh, okay, you've got it good. For me, it takes about at least 15 to 20 minutes every time.
Well, yeah, I mean, they've got a lot to check with you. You've got to go through your criminal history.
Yeah.
So
I
can understand.
look shady.
Very shady. Mark, who... That's the sound that a dog with a cleft palate makes. Mark. Okay.
Oh, no.
With a great presenter like Natty, the only question I have is why they keep rolling out Jay.
That's a good one.
Thank you, Mark.
That's a good one.
So, any response to that?
I can't even be mad. That is a fair question mark.
The thing is, there's more jobs to do than... Natty can't do everything. I mean, she does most of the stuff anyway.
Yeah.
So, you really need us guys to fill in the gaps.
someone needs to open the door. Someone needs to clean the table.
Keep rolling out Jay.
Yeah.
We sort of roll him out of
That's a good
the
one.
cupboard and...
I can't be mad. That was a good one.
Okay.
All right. My last two comments are from regarding Twitter. Now, Terry Jeffries says, the censorship on Twitter all went one way. As for free speech hurting your feelings, don't join Twitter. And Thai from Thailand says, free speech means just that, free, not controlled speech. The real control should be done in the courts where people commit libel or defamation. These platforms should be free like the town square.
Okay, so my comment on that is if you put a comment on Twitter that is libelous,
Yes.
the person who's been libelled could sue the writer of the comment and also the platform which carried the comment. There's just so much legal grey area, and each country is going to have different grey areas and different libel laws, because what may be libelous in one country isn't in a next. And these digital platforms are cross borders. So I think the idea, the concept of free speech is fantastic. In practice, though, on a daily basis, to have broad, open slather free speech simply doesn't work, and you end up with anarchy. Now, you really, with any commentary, with any people making comments, you need to have some rules, some laws, some civility. Otherwise, you have complete anarchy. You can't say whatever you want. It's as simple as that. Free speech. It might sound good. It might look good on paper. Freedom of speech, the First Amendment. But it just has to have guidelines and rules. That's my opinion. And I've been slashed for it this week.
Tim, why do you hate America?
I don't hate America.
Why are you against free speech? What
The only
has
time
the
I've been
United
as-
States of America ever done to you?
Well, I was assaulted in Chicago in 1991. That's
There it is. It all makes sense now.
the only place in the world I've
It
been
all
assaulted.
makes sense.
Matthew, do I keep going?
Well, yes, I'm done with my questions.
Matthew Boyd says, once the need for pre-purchase of SHA Plus hotels and flights is removed from the pass, I think the remainder is no problem. Don't know why people want to get rid of the entire Thai pass. It's just going digital, and what many complain about not already being digital.
Do you want to read that again?
I don't think Matthew pre-read his
Own typing.
or read it before he pressed publish, and I didn't pre-read it. But anyway, he doesn't think the Thailand pass is too bad. Once you get rid of the SHA Plus hotel and the PCR test, well, they're gone. They're gone after May the 1st.
Yeah.
So thank you, Matthew, for writing that Please check before you press publish next time. One more from Zaj Log. Z-A-J. Okay. Sound like too much requirements and hassle to go through. If you're going to spend that much money in abroad, just retire in your country will be much better. This is in response to a video that Natty did yesterday, which was called How to Retire in Thailand. Bit of a sort of a how-to video. If you'd like to check on that, just type in How to Retire in Thailand in the search engine of YouTube and you'll find that. Yeah, look, my feeling is that in the list of countries that make it easy to retire, Thailand is probably somewhere in the middle as far as ease of paperwork. As far as an actual place to retire for quality of life, I think it would come very, very high near the top. And I speak from 11 years of experience. This is a wonderful country to live in. But the paperwork I still personally believe is quite onerous. And I would like to see some changes to the retirement visa or some other visas, even like 5 and 10 year visas that don't cost an arm and a leg, to encourage people to come here and spend their money.
All right, and that's it. That's all the questions we had for today.
And they were all taken randomly from our YouTube channel. And thank you very much to all those people that responded.
Random and not random.
Yes.
So everything
and
matters.
Carefully selected to find the most obtuse responses.
Yes, because we love your responses, your feedbacks, your comments and questions. And ladies and gentlemen, please keep them coming in. Leave us a comment in the comment section below to let us know what you thought of some of the topics or any questions you would like to be addressed in our next episode next week.
They're making comments about us commenting on their comments. Okay.
Or a new comment. Comments galore. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you, Tim.
Thank you. Oh, can we just mention that on the weekend, on Saturdays and Sundays, I on Saturdays and you on Sundays, we get up early in the morning and we check out the latest stories and we do around about half an hour live with you. So if you're around about 9:30, we on Saturday, I do it on Jay does it on Sundays, and it's a bit of a recap of the main stories and really just open slather, have a chat.
We're calling it the Weekend Update.
That decision appears to have already been made.
Tim and Jay.
I didn't get to vote on that, but you've already made the decision.
Starring Timothy Newton.
I would have called it Stardust Memories or something.
On that note, have a great weekend and we'll see you next week.